How to play the question game. Questions games are played in an effort to facilitate a dialogue between a large group of people by asking questions. Due to its inquisitive nature, it is an excellent way for kids between elementary and middle school ages to be social and create relationships, but is also accessible to people of all ages. It can be used as a great icebreaker where participants are encouraged to ask questions in effort to get to know one another better in classroom and/or social settings, and is entertaining while being educational. In life, it is actually the questions that are far more important than the answer in aspects of learning. Method 1. Playing 20 questions. 1. Choose one person to act as the oracle. Either one or in a group, the oracle then makes the decision of what the word or subject of the game will be. It can as vague as a word from the top of your head or as specific as a person, place, or thing. Use a dictionary as to help assist with coming up with words or subjects to center the game around. Use the immediate environment as inspiration. Look around the room for something subtle so that the guesses that follow are more challenging to the players. 2. Take turns asking questions in efforts to deduce what the oracle sees. The oracle will respond with either a yes or a no to these questions, nothing more, and the analysts have a total of 20 questions they are allowed to ask. The questions will all be of a deductive nature, creating clues to investigate what the subject might be. Only 20 questions in total may be asked. 3. Ask questions until the answer is known. If a player feels like they know the answer based off of others' questions, when it is their turn, they will use their turn to pose the question. Is it a guess? The question will include their guess of what the specific object may or may not be. Is it a thing? Is it stationary? Does it move on its own? Is it blue? Is it round? Is it a ball? If the player guessed correctly, the game continues with it now being their turn to lead the game as the oracle. If the player guessed wrong, the guess counts as an additional question, and the game continues until the remaining 20 questions are asked. Method 2. Playing question and answer. 1. Separate into small groups of 4. These will be your teams. Give everyone in the group a piece of paper and a pen, pencil. Make sure each person has a writing utensil and uniform pieces of paper to write their questions on. Ensure that these groups of 4 are people who do not typically interact with one another. Follow a similar approach whether it be in a classroom or an environment of playtime for kids. Getting to know each other more personally is important to the child's development of his or her sense of self, a great attribute in both social and learning environments for kids. 2. Write down a question on one of their pieces of paper. Everyone in the group writing questions should avoid rhetorical, straight to the point yes or no questions. Instead, ask questions that will allow the group to get to know one another. These questions include, but are not limited to: where are you from? What are your favorite hobbies? What's your favorite movie? What is your favorite food? 3. Fold the paper and hand your question to the person next to you. The person will repeat the question to their partner and give their answer. They will then ask their neighbor the question and wait for the answer as well. Encourage follow-up dialogue to further emphasize creating dialogue between people. This is round 1. 4. Repeat the previous step with a new partner within the group. After both pairs within the group have asked each other their respective questions, have the pair switch partners to ask and answer a new question with a new partner. Again, encourage follow-up dialogue. This is round 2. 5. Reset the game. Have the participants repeat the steps and write down a new question on a sheet of paper, fold it, and then pass the paper to their neighbor. Facilitate the social exercise once again. Method 3. Playing questions. 1. Grab a partner to play with. The goal of the game is to ask as many questions as possible without making statements of any kind, hesitations, repeated, or rhetorical questions. The two players instead create and maintain a conversation by asking questions back and forth. 2. Start the game by having the first player make the initial serve. Player 1 can ask the question, "Do you like the weather outside today?" Like a game of tennis, the second player serves the questioning back, by countering with a different question, "Do you hate the weather outside today?" 3. Abide by the game's guidelines at all times. In response to the question, "Do you like the weather outside today?" the below question responses are invalid. Repetition, "Do you like the weather outside today?" Statement, "I like the weather outside today." Hesitation or significant pause, Rhetorical, "You like the weather, right?" 4. Continue the game until a player fouls. It is possible to play with more than 2 players. In fact, with this game, it's the more the merrier as it adds a greater dynamic to the game. Keep asking as many questions as you can and surprise yourself with just how quickly you're able to think on your feet. Tips. Be sure to be inclusive. Find entertaining but challenging source material. Don't ask inappropriate questions. Don't write or ask uncomfortable questions. Things. 2 or more people. A piece of paper for everybody. A pen pencil for everybody. A sense of humor.